Hi guys, my name is Bilal Ahmed. I'm a conversion optimization expert to coaches and consultants. And today I'm here with a case study how a couple of email conversion rate optimization hacks made Nick Jansons, a high ticket consultant, USD 16,000 plus in only 4 days and potentially six figures in LTV. So let's dive in. So let's get familiar with Nick Jansons. He is a Forbes 30 under 30 entrepreneur from Latvia. He helps service providers scale their businesses to 10 to 20k profit per month. But when I talked to him, he was working with architects and interior designers only. So back in those days, he had niched down in that particular vertical. But now, just like he's walking in the footsteps of every great coaching and consulting guru, people who help other coaches and consultants and business owners. So in simple words, he's just throwing a wider net. Let's talk about the problem, why he hired me. So there were multiple reasons Nick wasn't making as much money from his email list as he wanted to. The first reason is his email list at that time, so roughly 1 year ago, it was only 1,700 subscribers strong. And to make decent revenue from an email list, the minimum acceptable number is 5,000. So it doesn't mean that you cannot make bank with 1,700 subscribers or 2,000 or maybe 1,000. So Nick's made 5 figures in 4 days. Plus, six figures in LTV potentially, and that's just the proof that you can still make a lot of money from your email. But if you really want to scale your business, you really want to bank with emails only, then you must have at least or around 5,000 subscribers. So while his list was active thanks to Nick's casual, fun, and helpful broadcast emails, most of his subscribers were from certain European countries where people do not invest in marketing or business mindset as much as they do in the USA. So I'm not being a racist here. I myself am not from the USA, but it's a matter of fact that when it comes to appreciation for direct response marketing, for business mindset, that particular culture, it's very strong in the USA. So Nick's list, it was comprised of people from multiple European countries, including the UK, and it's good. He still made money, from that list, but it was somewhat challenging because maybe those people needed a better motivation level to whip out their credit cards and buy Nick's services, right, as compared to people in the USA. So that was the second challenge. Then Nick was hardly sending 2 emails per week. What I normally recommend is 5 per week. So these things are very important. So when it comes to making bank with email, 2 most important factors are how many emails, the number of emails you're sending per week. And the second thing is your open rate, right? And another thing is your list, how big your list is. So these few factors, they matter a lot. So Nick was in a niche market, a marketer helping architects and interior designers. Theoretically, Nick shouldn't have had any problem with making money from his list because it's a very niche market and it's easy to position in a niche market maybe. But the thing is that it's not 60s anymore. So every market, no matter what market it is, whether it's broad like e-com or whether it's very defined and narrow market like architects and interior designers, every market is uber aware and uber sophisticated these days. So it's not easy to convert people, and maybe a little bit help with positioning could do something here. Let's see. So then comes the solution, and I knew I could easily help Nick because I had already helped one of his American competitors make USD 31,000 in only 4 to 7 days with only 7 emails and an email list of only 2,500 plus strong, plus subscribers. And he also potentially made 6 figures in LTV. So the good thing about this is that I am I have been using successfully the same email sequence for all these clients, and I'm going to talk about that in a while. And here's the testimonial about that particular client, and there is something very important that I would like to mention here. So let's read it first. Quick update on the email campaign. Just signed a $10K client yesterday who had been on our list for years and was reactivated by the campaign. So total sales directly attributable to the campaign are now 31K. You guys are awesome. So what's so important here, other than money definitely, is this thing. So someone who has been on your list for years, he wasn't responding to your emails, it was a deadbeat lead, as if he or she, they never even existed. But all of a sudden they read these emails, these very compelling emails that I'm going to show you in a minute, and they whip out their credit card and they pay you 10K, which by the way was the most expensive program that this guy had to sell. 10K, right? So, and I'm going to show you this again and again because this is a pattern. Sequence I'm going to show you, it's very good at bringing deadbeat leads back to life, resurrecting your list back to life. I'm going to show you a couple of the testimonials that prove it, because it's a big deal, and I'm going to talk about why it's a big deal in a while. So here's what I did for Nick's Jansons. First of all, a unique mechanism. So Nix is no longer using that unique mechanism because he's no longer working with architects and designers only. But I told him that he was doing what I had seen some coaches and consultants working with some of the biggest coaching gurus do. So what's that mistake? Maybe not as much a mistake, but maybe a strategy to see in that goes south for some people, is that they don't have a name for their unique mechanism. People are always likely to respond to specificity. So there are a couple, concepts in marketing which, which are simply golden. So one of them is specificity. You have to make some specific claim. You should have a specific name. For example, the email sequence, dollar deluge email sequence, it's basically the name that I gave to this email sequence, but I don't own this email sequence. I'm not the person who originally came up with the idea. So you have to find a unique name for your product. It's very important. So Chris Haddad, for example, one of the living legends as far as copywriting is concerned, the VSL guy, the VSL expert, who is a mentor to some people who are mentor to people like me, I would say, or people like me, they look up to them. Chris Haddad, for example, he had this, amazing name for his unique product. You can call it PIG or PIG. So it's basically an acronym, and PIG is basically punch in the gut. So it's a copywriting system that teaches you how to write VSLs. Now, punch in the gut is a very strong name. Even if it's an acronym, just PIG, okay, you would stop for a while and think, what the hell is it? And that's the purpose. So you have to have a unique mechanism, obviously, but you have to have a unique name for unique mechanism too, which is what Nix didn't have. So I helped him with that. I dived in, I applied my unique process of finding out unique mechanisms and gave him a unique name for that unique mechanism too, and will let his funnel pages reflect this new mechanism. So the name I gave to his method was golden ratio method. And I'm sorry for my bad handwriting, so I cannot help doing this. So golden ratio method, it might not mean anything to you, but if you are an architect or interior designer, someone who has got a certification, who has got a license to, if there is a license, there is a certification that you need to become an architect or interior designer, definitely. So if you are an architect or designer, you definitely know what golden ratio means, and this basically gets your attention, and that's what the goal is. So that's one thing I did, but the more important thing, as far as conversions are concerned, was improvise, make some changes to this dollar deluge email sequence that I was writing successfully for some clients already, and I basically used this sequence to make him all this money. So Nix, he is a savvy marketer himself. He was very good at Facebook ads. As a matter of fact, the Facebook ads I wrote for him didn't beat his ads. But I knew what I needed to do to grab some low-hanging fruit from my client, and that's what I always do. So when I onboard a new client, my biggest goal is to give them some immediate wins, give them some low-hanging fruits. So how I do this, in some cases it's ads, in some cases it's dollar deluge email sequence, or my webinar sequence that I use for another marketer, Richard Petrie, in the same niche. So I wrote this sequence. It's a 7 email sequence that I've been successfully using for other people. And again, I'm going to show you the pattern. So this female coach, I wrote the same sequence for her, and look at what she's saying. So last night, I'm sorry, it's not the female coach, it's another client. And yeah, you gotta look at what he's saying too. So he made 5K from only one client, but that's not important. What matters is he saw an old YT ad of mine, he was on my email list, then this week I ran your sequence, he booked a call, so he's very happy. But what matters here is, what he's implying is that this customer was on the list since maybe ever, but he wasn't responding to the emails, he wasn't doing anything. So it's not written here, but you can see that's what he is implying here. So all of a sudden, that person just read these emails, whipped out his card, and made the payment. It's just as simple as that. And then you read this, this testimonial from the female coach that I've just mentioned. Your email is fire. The one about the cash offer, holy cow, do you have any other amazing email sequences? It has made my funnel work. So this is important, and because I am aware of the internal chat, I know what she was talking about. So what this sequence basically did was, people weren't responding to her email, and this made her funnel work, which means now they were responding to the emails, they were clicking the links, they were going to the next points in the funnel, and that's what matters basically. So this is the most important thing, because and I'm going to talk about that here. So there were a few very clear objectives we wanted to achieve with those emails. The first one is to resurrect his dead leads to life and compel them to read and reply to those emails, and maybe take the action too, right? So this is something very important. Making money is important, definitely. Okay, just a sec. Making money is important, definitely, but you cannot make money if your list is dead. So if you know anything about email marketing, this is very important. First of all, you need to keep adding fresh blood to your list with ads. Secondly, you have to keep that list engaged with, obviously, your messaging, your emails. If you're not doing that, your list is dead, you're not making any money from it. So the first challenge that almost every email list manager faces is that when they take the responsibility of a particular account, the first job is to make sure that open rates goes higher. So for example, Nick's Jansons open rate was 40%. He was very good at marketing, as I've already said. 40% is awesome, compared to what I've seen some people doing. But my emails, what they did was, and I'm going to show you in a while, is that I gave him an immediate bump of 50% open rate. So 50% people opened, 50% plus actually, opened the emails. So that's important. You have to make sure that your list is responding to your emails, because if you won't do that, you won't make any money. So the second thing is, get some high ticket recurring clients and give Nix arguably his most profitable week or month ever. So I said arguably because I'm not sure about that. I didn't check it with Nix, but he recorded a 20+ minute video about these emails and the results they gave him. He sent that that video, and basically vouched for me on that video. He sent that video to his list, and he published that video on his YouTube channel as well. So I'm going to show you that too in a while. So that's something important. You basically have to give some quick wins to your customers, your clients. So strategy was very simple. I'm going to tell you what those emails did. So first of all, each email had to lean heavily on a few direct response elements that, if used properly, almost always guarantee a home run. So for example, I've been, working with high-ticket coaches and consultants for over 2 years now. I've worked with 60 plus coaches and consultants in almost every niche imaginable. One of them, for example, he was a PR coach, and I knew that there was this YouTube script written by a veteran copywriter who had worked with big names, agencies like YNR, BBDO, and Lester Wunderman. Excuse me. So he worked with those big names, and he wrote a script, and that script was totally crushing it. It was just as perfect as it gets. But I looked at it again and again as a curious marketer, someone who learned copy by dissecting it as a broke copywriter, and I thought again and again, what would I do differently? Is there a way to make it even better, even sweeter? And as it happens, I basically did. And why I'm talking about all that, basically all this jibber jabber, is to tell you that proof, these direct response elements, they matter a lot. And one of them is proof. I use proof a lot. So what I did was I brought you proof up front instead of using it way down the line in that ad. What I did was I used it up front in the hook of that ad, and I made a very specific claim. And with that specific claim, particular YouTube ad, that ad coupled with a few other ads basically made this coach $100,000 on an ad spend of only $10,000, and that's a big deal. So yeah, that's something important. You must know direct response. You must know how to use those elements, and if you use them properly, you almost always hit home run. Second thing is that each email hit the emotional hot buttons of target market. Even though I had already researched all, because I had worked with Nick's competitor, I did my research again and swiped copy from Nick's clients' testimonials too. So that's something very important again. You can do research 10 times. You can go to Amazon. You can read the book reviews. You can go to Reddit. You can go to forums, and that all is good. But nothing beats the copy and the messaging elements that you get from the customers of your client, which is why you have to go through their testimonials. You have to go through their survey responses. If there are any complaint tickets generated, you get all that data and go through that. So I went through Nick's clients' testimonials, got some, discovered some gold nuggets, and I used them in my emails. Then each email relied heavily on proof elements, and not just social proof, but all types of proof we could use. So Victor Schwab, direct response legend, he has mentioned, I think, 19 different types of proofs in his book. And I've already talked about that how important proof is. Just using proof up front in the hook of a particular YouTube ad I wrote for this PR coach. This basically made him 100,000 USD on an ad spend of 10,000. Then each email had curiosity bullets or fascinations to hype the readers up about the strategy session. We use curiosity to get as many clicks as possible. So curiosity bullets or fascinations, most of you, like marketers, definitely would be aware of them. But those who aren't, let me tell you, it's something very simple and something that you must have noticed in marketing messaging that you have read anywhere. So curiosity bullets are basically copy that you use where you dangle the carrot, you tell them what they are going to expect on the call or whatever is the next point in your funnel, but you don't give away all the details. Keep up with the curiosity, get them hyped up about what they're going to see, and then basically get the click. So the trick is to get the click. curiosity, it always gets the clicks. Then the next thing is that each email used urgency. And when I'm saying urgency, I don't just mean the lazy man's urgency, which is scarcity of limited time or slots. I definitely did use this, but I use multiple other types of urgency too that compel people to take action immediately. So one of them, for example, is FOMO, fear of missing out, and that's just one type. There are multiple other types too. The last thing, strategy-wise, is that we sent out 7 to 8 emails. I think it was 7 emails because I know I write 7 emails every time when I'm writing that sequence, and each email has a particular purpose. So Nick said 8 and has a video that he recorded. That might be a mistake, I don't know. But 7 emails basically means 2 emails per day if you send out 7 emails in 4 days. And this too creates urgency because you create FOMO. So on average, people that you sign up for, people whose emails you sign up for, you receive 1 email per day. Some marketers definitely, they go crazy and they get results too. So they send 2 emails per day, sometimes even 3 emails. Like, that's a rarity, but I've seen that. Mostly it's just 1 email per day, and then out of nowhere, if you start receiving 2 emails per day, that sort of creates FOMO, because your immediate primitive brain reaction to that thing is, okay, something very special is happening. And that leads to the next point. If it's something very special, what should I do? Okay, I don't know what should I do, but one thing I know is that I don't want to miss out on it. So let's see, it's free. It's a free strategy session. Like, what could possibly go wrong? And that's what you do. So you get people to take action, and that's something important. So this was it about the strategy or solution part. Then come results. So this is the snippet of the video that Nick's recorded for his YouTube channel. He sent out this video to his list. He published this video on his YouTube channel. And that's something amazing for me as a marketer, because a client that you work with, he got so pumped up, he got so excited, so happy that he made a video about it. Here are the campaign results. So the first thing is deliverability. And deliverability simply means if people are reading the emails that you're sending to them, and there are particular reasons why they won't read your email. So for example, the worst case scenario is when your emails, they go to spam folder. And then there is this scenario where emails go to promo folder. So not the primary, but promo folder, a promo tab of Gmail, right? So people don't read promo emails, not necessarily, and they definitely don't read their spam folder. But the worst thing, the biggest nightmare of a coach and consultant, and you must know about it, is that even when people sign up to receive your emails, they are still very likely to never receive them. So it's about Google's algorithm. Even though people have signed up for your email, Google's algo, it goes through those emails and it decides if they should go to primary tab or they should go to promo tab, or in worst case scenario, it can send them to spam too. And I'm going to make a big reveal. I cannot mention the name because I really respect that coaching and consulting guru, one of the biggest names in this vertical. And I signed up for his emails, but the other day I was just taking a look, going through my spam folder, just checking, being curious as an email marketer, and I noticed that guru's email, I think there were 1 or 2 emails at least, they were in my spam folder, even though I signed up to receive his emails. So that's how Google's algo works. So let's say if you make some big claim, a money claim, or let's say you're asking for money, like buy this right now, something like that, it may trigger Google's Gmail spam alarm, right? Then if something is slightly salesy, Google's algo would see, okay, this thing is slightly salesy, this sounds to be a salesy email, it shouldn't go to the primary tab, it should go to the promo tab. And this concept basically is very much in line with what legendary direct response marketer Gary Halbert taught. So he talked about A pile and B pile. People read the emails or direct mail that is in their A pile, which is basically letters or emails from their loved ones, their siblings, their cousins, their colleagues, their friends, their children, bank, state, important emails or mail, like that. Then there is B pile, and in B pile, unfortunately, go all your marketing mail. So, and it would go to B pile if you're not a smart marketer. So that's the name of the game. You have to make sure that your emails, they go to the A pile, which is primary tab. I'm gonna show you what I mean here. So, come here, and that's what I mean. Just a sec. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. Primary, promotions, social. So I never check social. I sometimes check promotions. I always check primary. So primary is A pile, promotions is B pile. We're not even talking about social. And that's very important. Needless to say that your email should go to primary tab. Why? Because let's say you're as smart as Gary Halbert, but your deliverability game is not good. You don't know how to avoid, Gmail's triggers, things that trigger Google algo to send your email to promo or spam. You don't want to trigger that. But if you are a good marketer, you write good copy, and still your emails, they go to promo tab or spam folder, it means that you have failed at your job. Because if people haven't even read your emails, how are they supposed to take action? This is something very important. So deliverability is very important. I'm going to show you that my emails, basically, even with big, bold, salesy direct response claims and numbers, all of them landed in the primary tab. So, and I'm very, careful about marketing claims that I make. And, a few friends basically challenge this thing. So I'm going to show this, to my audience here. Let me show you everything live. I hope they can also, someday do something like this and show us live, show us their email marketing smarts. So that's the first email. This is a smart thing that I did. You would see names like Ben Settle, David Finkel, all marketers and copywriters, Troy Erickson, Jeff Walker. And that's the thing. In coaching or consulting space, where your face is your brand, where your name is your brand, people are touchy about their name, and they don't play tricks like Natural Health Sherpa would play, for example. But some coaches and consultants I've worked with, including Nick's and his American competitor, they were open to playing these tricks. So what I did was I changed the from name to something very interesting, something that would make you curious, because it's the fight for attention. It's the battle for attention, and I want you to forget primary promo tabs for a minute and focus on what I'm going to tell you. So imagine that this is not my inbox but your inbox. Imagine that all these emails are unread. So right now they have been marked red, but imagine they're unread. And in your emails, you would, in your inbox, you read names. David Finkel, okay. Ben Settle, okay. Forget about this. David Finkel, Ben Settle, Troy Erickson, Jeff Walker, Dan Throssell, Ben Settle again. And you know these people because you signed up for their emails, but you also know these are marketing emails, whatever it is. You have to make a decision right here, right now, right? So that decision, you're going to make that decision based on name and then the subject line and the preview text or the first line of the email, right? So that's what matters here. These are the weapons of mass attraction that you're gonna use. So something like no clients at all would immediately get your attention. That was the goal. Then we were talking about you. So this is not my idea, by the way. I wish I was this smart, but yeah, this comes from a legendary direct response marketer came across the Shwam. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So something as smart as this, we were talking about you. Okay, you got them curious. What were you talking about me? So there's this cognitive bias, for example, that's the most well-known cognitive bias, that people don't give a shit about you. They always want to know what's in it for them. So if you're talking about them, we were talking about you, you get something triggered in their brain. Okay, what were they talking about? What is it exactly? So a smart trick like this. So the purpose here is to show you how to win the battle for attraction in an email inbox, and also to show you that these emails will all thank you. The first email we were talking about here, the second email, all went to primary tab. You can see it here. What does it say? Primary. It doesn't say promo. Promo is here. You can see this white line that indicates that I am in the primary tab here, right? You can see this. Let me show you some more emails. Okay, here we go. And okay, here are those emails. So here comes the third email. Again, something that would make them curious. Busiest architect. Okay, now they want to know who is the busiest architect, because they are architects and designers. They want to be busy because being busy means making money. And what's something more important here is this: a money claim. I've seen big shot gurus, I've seen their emails going to spam because of making money claims. 12k euros, it says it clearly. I'm sorry for all this red market thingy. Read it again. 12k euros in 21 days, a very specific claim. It sounds like a marketing email. Google's algo read it, but it didn't send it to promo, it sent it to primary. I'm going to show you here. Just keep watching. I'm scrolling up, and here you see I didn't change the tab. It's right here in primary tab, and there are multiple others. Okay, no, this is our internal communication, but here are multiple others. So referrals for interior, referrals for RG. You see all these emails here. I'm gonna show you again. Just give me a sec. Okay. Busiest architect. Okay, so this was maybe third or fourth email. Then, and all of them are in primary tab. Then busiest referrals for RG. So, 6 hours left to become a successful architect interior designer. And by the way, I'm making big money claims here. 12k euros in 21 days. That's just one story. There was one more, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I totally missed out on this. Unlimited interior. Okay, interior what? And there's this Santa Marini's, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, story. You can see, like, this is a big deal because I've seen people talking about this, that making a money claim in the subject line, send that email to the promo tab. Here, I'm not only making a money claim, but I'm using the symbol, the exact symbol. Used it in the other email too. Euro 5,000. Again, if you can see it, let me show you, because this is something very important. Okay, here we go. Take a look. Take a good look. 5,000 euro per month from 12 clients in 3 months, and this went to the primary tab, right? To some people it might not be a big deal, because it depends from varies from person to person, case to case, but it's a well-known fact that most of the times using money figure in your marketing email, especially when it's a sequence, because I think AI can definitely detect if it's a sequence, because you use urgency and all that. Language is different. It's kind of a big deal if those emails still go to primary tab. Busiest architect, already talked about this. Money claim again. Referrals for RG. 6 hours left to become a successful. So I'm using urgency. So Google's algo didn't mind urgency, money claim, scarcity of limited time, limited slots, 1 hour left. Referrals for interior. it still goes to primary tab. See, I'm still scrolling up. You can see that it's primary tab. You can see it right here. So this is important because deliverability is super important. But then comes something even bigger than deliverability. So it's one thing that your emails, they went to the primary tab. It's another thing whether people opened the emails and if they took the action to. Open rates too can be, so you can manipulate this. You can write clickbaity, nonsensical subject lines which don't have anything to do with the subject matter. And you can end up getting 60%, maybe 70-80% open rates. So that's one thing. But what cannot lie is click-through rate. So if click-through rate is good, it means your marketing game is good. It means people are taking action. But what's even better than click-through rate or open rates, because all these, you can easily call them vanity metrics. What matters most is cash collected, right? So I'm going to talk about that. But before I do this, since I'm very careful about marketing claims I make, I'm going to show you in Nick's testimonial that the email that he sent, they had 50% plus open rate and 1%, 3% CTR. So what's most important though is cash collected. So in only 4 days with this email sequence, Nick's got 4 premium high ticket recurring clients, people who bought his backend offer and made USD 4,000 plus change per client, which means USD 16,000 plus. I'm not aware of the LTV, but it was potentially in 6 figures. Now, why do I say potentially? Because as per the simple math that I did, based on Nick's client satisfaction rate and all other things, I figured that if he serviced them properly every month, which he did for all his previous clients basically, there are many testimonials on his website, he might have made around 6 figures with these emails. So Nick got so excited that he recorded a YouTube video and shared it with his list. And I'm going to show you the testimonial that he recorded for me with certain clips from that video that he recorded for his list and launched, published on his YouTube channel. Just to show you that I'm not making things up. These are not made up claims, and these emails actually worked. So let's hear it out from Nick Jansons.
Hey, wanted to make a testimonial video for Bilal, who helped us to create emails and create sequences which we used to generate basically from his sequence more than 16,000 euros in revenue for our business.
And we got 4 premium clients with this email sequence, which we did in 4 days. From those emails, we got around 28 bookings. So 28 people booked a call from these 1,700 people in the list. From those people, this is something I'm not 100% sure, so around 20 people actually met us, and 4 of them bought. And they bought for a product which was around 4K. Here is an example, a screenshot of the open rates.
So I'm going to stop it for a while. As you can see, I told you I'm going to show you everything because Nick's recorded this video for his list. 55%, 52%, 53%, and the remaining emails were also 50% plus. I know this because definitely we were exchanging notes on conversions, data and everything. The CTR, as you can see here, 3%, 1%, 2% plus. Everything is here. Let's watch the testimonial.
So the open rates we had was around 50%, so which is really good, right? So 50% of those people actually opened the emails. The return on this, in my case, it was huge. Is it worth it? As a CEO, I would say yes, it's worth it.
Bilal is definitely an expert in copywriting and making emails worth the while of the clients who are receiving them, to read them, and actually do something about it. I represent a company called NJ Media, and we help and serve architects and interior designers. And Bilal is a really cool guy to communicate with, so highly recommend him.
All right, so this is where it ends. I have just one thing to say here. It's an important, observation. Since I've been playing chess for a very long time when I was young, so the game of conversion is a lot like the game of chess. So when two people, they are entangled, they are playing the game, they are so focused on their moves and the expected moves, the moves that they think that their potential, their opponent is going to make. When they're so focused on all that, they are very likely to miss out on the bigger picture. They are very likely to make stupid mistakes, childish mistakes. And in Nick's case, there weren't any mistakes, but it always helps when someone, you get them on board and you have a fresh look, a fresh set of eyes, a spectator, a bystander's eyes on your funnel, on your copy, and they show you the blind spots that you simply ignore, that you fail to notice for some reason because you're too focused on bigger things, some other things that you're doing already for your business, definitely. So that's what I do. That's what I did for Nick Jansons. That's what I did for Richard Petrie, for example, New Zealand-based, ex-international cricketer. Is Richard, by the way, since I'm talking about him. So, co-founder and co-owner of Architect Marketing Institute. So I wrote his webinar sequence, and I beat the control, his previous webinar sequence, as far as the results are concerned. So registrations that he got from my emails were 1,046 compared to 920 from the previous campaign without me. There was 43% to 48% show-up rate because there were multiple webinars and 48 strategy sessions booked. So that's a big number. And that's what I did for Richard too. That's what he said in particular, that we miss this fresh perspective. We miss this fresh set of eyes, a new strategy that could help us scale. And that's what I did basically. So the good news is that moving forward, I'm going to help a few selected coaches and consultants every month by doing a free analysis, conversion rate optimization analysis of their, funnel. It could be their Facebook ads, it could be their entire funnel, including their opt-in page, webinar or sales page, order page, and their emails if they want me to take a look at them. So it could be email automations. I would need your ESP login definitely for that. So email automations and copy. And the focus would be on two very important areas. So the first one is some opportunities that you unintentionally missed out on. So some opportunities to make money, to get more ROI out of your marketing. That's the first thing. The second thing is to show you the money leaking gaps, the mistakes that you have made unintentionally, the direct response elements that you haven't used. So for example, some people, they just get lazy with proof. They and I've worked with those people, so they've got testimonials on their website, but somehow they didn't consider it necessary to use that proof in their Facebook ads or emails, and that simply means leaving money on the table. So that's just one of those examples. So why free? Because I'm doing this for a very selfish reason. So I want to show you that I can help you, and the best way to do that is basically by helping you actually. So without taking anything from you, Gary Bensavinga, he called it moving the free line. So that's what I'm doing. I'm moving the free line, just getting my foot in the door, trying to prove to you with free value that I can actually be very valuable for your business. And if I do this successfully, there's a chance that you would like to work with me, hire me as your conversion rate optimization expert, let me handle your marketing. So that's basically the reason behind doing these free analysis. So if you're interested, there is an email address in the description below. Just shoot me an email with your ad links, your funnel links, and if you're interested in having me go through your email automations and email copy, then I would like to get the logins to your ESP tool as well. So once I get them, I would definitely have to select a few people every week, every month. and I would go through your links, and I would record a 5-minute loom, and I would show you where you can make some improvement and basically hit a home run. So let's do it if you're interested. Thank you.